Hey, what's up, Better Call Saul fans? Kino here, and oh, wait, one sec. I just realized I had not been wearing the hat recently. Um, and that wasn't a bit. I just really, as I turned on the camera, I just remembered to wear the stupid hat. But we just watched the latest episode that just came out, Axe and Grind. It is the episode before the mid-season finale, so I think we have one more before we go on break. And this episode had some elements I thought were really well done, some elements that were kind of mediocre, and then some more disappointing elements. And let's start from best to worst. And the best, of course, is Kim's storyline. So they start with a flashback to Kim as a child, which is very cool to see. I can't remember off the top of my head if we've seen any other episodes with her. I kind of feel, wasn't there one more before this when she was a kid? I can't remember 100%, but I think that there was. But regardless, we see that her mother made her kind of do scams to, like they were doing a shoplifting scam on this store. And I don't know who plays the mom. I really think it's like a relative of like Kim's, because that woman, whoever she was, looked very much like Kim, and more so sounded just like her. Like her voice cadence was, she talked in the exact same way that Kim does, to the point where I almost want to look this up here. I'll try to keep talking while I do this, but it's let's see here. Beth Hoyt. I don't know if she's related to her or not. I really should not be doing this as I'm recording the video. But either way, like, it really seems like she's got some kind of relation to Rhea. So regardless, really interesting flashback, because again, it's showing kind of the seeds of like how Kim's gonna grow up. It looks like she's always kind of like supported bad behavior, with her mom's case kind of not by choice, but as she's kind of met Jimmy, we can see maybe why she went down that path. And again, I've said before this, like, I don't really like seasons 4, 5, and kind of this season a little bit, 6. But the one thing I really do like is Kim's storyline. Like, they made her very interesting. And in this episode, she chooses to give up her own kind of noble ambition, which is helping, underprivileged people with law stuff, and instead help Jimmy's kind of plan. And that feels very natural to her development, and it feels like, something like it's been leading here for a while. I just wish that, like, my one criticism of this storyline is the fact that it's not the storyline per se, it's just the pacing. Why cut immediately, like, when she just starts to turn back? Like, they're taking it so slow. Like, this could have been a whole episode of, like, whatever happens next episode could have been in this one when it comes to Kim. Like, they could have set it up like, oh, she's got this big thing coming up. She's going to have to choose between, Saul and her noble ambitions. And then she chooses to go with Saul. And then we see that follow through. It's like, again, Breaking Bad did a great job of, like, as much as it had a reputation for being slow at times, they really could cram in a lot of stuff in one episode. Like, really, if this was the scene where Walt goes and saves Jesse, right? If this was Better Call Saul, what they would have done was they would have cut right when Walt left the house, and then had a whole nother episode of Walt going to save, Jesse. And again, they're just taking this. The pacing is way too slow in this show at times. Like, and I can appreciate that, like, you want to take your time and develop tension and character, but they're really going overboard with how slow and how spread out it is. It feels like like just barren. A lot of these episodes just feel like nothing is happening because it's so spread out. Like if they just combined it, if they combined everything that happened this season into like 2 or 3 episodes, it would have been like very fast paced and very engaging. But anyway, that's the one criticism I have with how they're handling it. It's not specific to Kim, but it is a problem with the show. Now, again, one thing that I didn't like, and again, I know this is going to piss off Reddit nerds, but I don't like Lalo. Like, his storyline is very boring. It's not showing him in the best light, and it's pointless. Again, I'm sure people are going to be like, oh my god, Lalo chopped off that guy's foot. What a badass. This is like the best character ever. No. Listen, him chopping off the foot of some random guy. I mean, I know he's one of the diggers, presumably. I don't remember him specifically, but he's one of the Germans who were working on Gus's super lab. But again, we're seeing him brutalize like a random person who has no criminal connection, so it's not as intimidating. Like when Gus killed all the cartel guys, it was super impressive because these guys are, cartel. He's picking on someone who can fight back, whereas the only people Lalo kills are the guy at the check cashing place, and this guy, or you didn't kill him, but you know what I mean. The only one he can bully are just random nobodies. Like whenever he goes up against Gus, he loses. And but again, it's not like, oh, we're showing how cool Gus is. It's trying to portray Lalo as cool, but again, really, he's the Boba Fett of this series. I'm gonna keep saying that because it's true. He looks cool. It seems like what he's doing is cool, but when you look at it, it's not impressive. It's nothing. I'm not impressed with Lalo's storyline at all. I don't think we needed to see this. I keep repeating myself on that, but I really don't think we needed to have a whole storyline of him figuring out what's in the super lab, especially because they split it out over the course of 2 non-consecutive seasons. Like, he was looking for the super lab in season 4. He didn't find it. Now he's looking for the super lab again. So it's like, why do we need this? You can just have the character know something or learn something off screen, and that can be impressive in and of itself. Like, I always think back to the scene in End Times where he's gonna blow up. Walt's gonna blow up Gus, right? And Gus just like stops and realizes something's wrong, and he walks away. And they never explain it. We don't need to have a whole scene of like, we have to show that Gus placed guys everywhere and they were watching as Walt loaded the bomb onto the car. Like, no, it was impressive just the fact that we didn't know how he knew something was wrong. But it just showed that Gus is so smart in a way that we can't even understand, that we just, we were blown away. It's like magic. We see what happened. We have no idea how it's actually working. And that's what Lalo should have been. We don't need to see everything. I know there were some people commenting that like, oh, I really want to know how all this works. And it's like, I mean, everyone has their own taste, but really, I don't think we need this level of exposition. It's slogging down the season. It's so boring. And again, I'm someone who, things don't have to be lightning paced, but the episodes should feel like every single moment is super relevant and it couldn't be cut. If I feel like, oh, you could have cut this and we could have still gotten the same impression, then I'd say cut it. Now, there are slow kind of tension-building moments that we can't cut. Again, something like Kim's little flashback. That was a great moment. But again, all this extra stuff is just, ugh. And I really feel like I'm going to be vindicated once the show's over, because more and more it's kind of becoming clear to me that like it's not going to tie itself together in this perfect way that everyone's thinking like, oh, no, wait, just wait. Like it'll all make sense. Every single little detail been worth it. No, it won't be. I guarantee it. The ending might be good. It might be interesting. But we will look back and say that, like, oh yeah, seasons 4, 5, and 6, you could have cut out a lot of that stuff. It was just filler. I really think I'm going to be vindicated on that, and Better Call Saul is not going to have the reputation that Breaking Bad does. For as simple as Breaking Bad can be at times compared to something like The Sopranos or The Wire, one thing I say was it was paced perfectly. Like the storytelling moments were perfectly spaced out, and the joy of watching it play out was a much better experience than what I've been getting on Better Call Saul. But that's just what I look for in a show, and that's my opinion. The only other thing I could say was this episode was directed by Giancarlo Esposito, sorry. And I think it's cool that they're giving all these actors a chance to direct their own episodes. I think he did a good job. I mean, nothing stood out as bad to me. But yeah, really, that's everything I have to say for this episode. Oh, we did see a flashback. I'm just looking at the episode description. We did have a flashback with Kim in another episode. So we saw that she came from a kind of not so great home. But for now, that's pretty much everything I want to say. Thank you guys for watching these, and I'm excited to at least finish out the season. I'm going to be a little bit sad that I'm not getting something to look forward to every Monday, at least for a little while. But we'll talk about the episode when it comes out and probably talk more about the show in general. So see you guys then.